Hi, I'm Pav.
And I'm Neil.
And welcome to the Top 10 of Anything podcast.
Let's start the countdown.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
With the shaking hips, curled lip, jet black pompadour, Elvis Presley is the undoubted king of rock and roll. From Tupelo, Mississippi to Graceland to Vegas, Elvis has been an icon for 7 decades and will probably be forever. So we are going to count down his top 10 songs. Well, it's now or never. So here's our very own teddy bear, Mr. Iconic himself, Neil, with 10 facts about the king.
Thank you very much, Pav. So Elvis, as we know, is an astounding and a celebrated figure in the music world. But did you know he didn't write a single one of his songs? Elvis's signature look was his black locks slicked back and to the side. Shockingly, this wasn't the look he was born with. He cultivated it. To make his hair black, he would use shoe polish to cover his sandy-coloured tresses. It seems that when Elvis is brought up in conversation, the name Priscilla immediately follows. However, their relationship would be quite scandalous in today's world, even illegal, as Priscilla was very young, only 14 at the start of their courtship. When 1974 rolled around, Elvis was almost unrecognizable thanks to his new look. The king had a soft spot for fried foods, and it took up a hefty percentage of his diet. One of his favorites, the Fool's Gold sandwich, otherwise known as an entire loaf of bread hollowed out and filled with peanut butter, bacon, and banana. Elvis had a fling with Cher in between her marriages between Sonny Bono and Greg Allman. Elvis was a big germaphobe. He loved his guns and had a vast collection. He would carry them at most times on his tours and walks around Memphis. Elvis recorded an album with no songs on it. Due to a contract he had to live up to, he released Having Fun with Elvis on Stage, which is all spoken word. And Elvis had a passion for the law enforcement. He would often pass the time pulling over speedy drivers by attaching a police siren to his car. And Elvis loved TV and movies. He used to watch 3 TVs at once, and he loved Monty Python. With their movie, The Holy Grail, he would watch it over and over again.
Well, thank you very much. That's all I got to say about it.
Very much.
Now, you've just heard the dulcet tones. Firstly, hello, Neil. How are you?
Hello, Pav. I'm very well, thank you.
Good. And the dulcet tones you heard then is our very good friend and the top Elvis tribute act in the country.
In the world.
In the
I
world.
don't know about that. Not in the world. No.
No.
Oh, you're taking the country. That's what I like.
Yeah, not the country. I don't know. Maybe Gloucestershire.
It's Aren. Hello, Aren. It's lovely
Hello,
to see
yeah.
you, mate.
So
And
good
right,
to see you.
Right.
It's right now. Obviously, I'm talking for myself. I'm an Elvis fan, but I'm an Elvis fan in regards to the fact that like I've got his greatest hits. Do you know what I mean? When it comes to being an Elvis tribute act,
Yeah.
you have to be a bit more. I mean, obviously you're an Elvis fan, but
Oh yeah, massive.
but
Yeah.
is it more? You know all the deep cuts. You know all the all of the albums and.
Yeah, I suppose so. There's still stuff I find new stuff even today. Always looking for, because he recorded some like just under 800 songs or something. So there's always new ones. Well, some new versions of those songs coming out, and even every now and then I hear a song I've never heard before, believe it or not. So yeah, there's still plenty out there, and say different versions that I like to find.
Yeah, I was listening to Elvis all day today because I want to get myself in the mood for it. But it's amazing. Obviously, he didn't just do songs that obviously he never wrote, but that other people wrote. But he did so many covers of other people's songs as well, didn't he?
Oh yeah, there was just like so many, and he'd always put his own little twist on them, either speed them up or rearrange them, or miss verses out, or just put his own little spin on it, how he wanted to do it.
Yeah.
So it's quite interesting. From the gospel, the gospel songs, the country songs, the rock and roll. It was just a fusion of everything, and you just try anything, I suppose.
Yeah. What about you, Neil? You were.
Oh, I'm an Elvis fan.
Yeah?
I wouldn't say I was a all out and out Elvis fan, but I've got a lot of admiration and a lot of time for his music. I've been to Gracelands. Neil's been to Graceland. Have you not?
Yeah. No. Hopefully next year.
I mean, it was over 20 years ago, so I'm sure it's probably changed a bit. But yeah, I ventured out to Memphis and had a little homage to the epic building. Yeah, it's gorgeous. I was going to say, Aren, is there an Elvis song that you haven't yet done live that you want to?
It depends where. Obviously, if you're doing a party and everybody's up dancing, then you can't chuck in a really slow ballad or a sad ballad, because quite a lot of sad ballads, like the late 70s, was filled. I think after his divorce, there's a lot of sad ballads in there, and
a lot of stuff about Daddy as well.
All that kind of stuff. So so it's very. I think the state of mind he was in probably at the time, maybe. And I quite like those ballads. That I think the feeling in his voice, and the emotion. I think, like for me, so you can't do them at a birthday party.
Kill the mood.
In the corner singing Old Shep. Or
So obviously, when I do the Elvis events, the big events, you can do these songs, because people obviously know them, and they maybe appreciate them and understand them a bit more. So
and musically, do you have a favourite period of Elvis?
It's got to be, I think, 1969 to about 71. Just after he did the 68 comeback, and then he started going and doing his live stuff after all the movies had finished, and he started getting back in the studio, and he did stuff like In the Ghetto, Kentucky Rain. His place called the American Sound Studios, and he was in there. He recorded a lot of really great stuff, and I think vocally he was fantastic then.
Yeah.
We will get on to the top 10, but obviously you've very kindly come and done some live shows for us, and that our Pancast shows that we did.
A lot of fun.
And I can remember both of us when we saw your jumpsuit, and we were like mesmerized. About how glorious it looked, and B, how fucking heavy it was.
Oh it's crazy.
But one thing about your act is you do go for sort of authenticity, don't you, and try and be as close to. But is that what it is like in the Elvis tribute world? Like, will fans?
I think it is. It's I think it's just paying your tribute how you want to pay. Some guys, there's got different guys that pay different ways. But I think it's just been just obviously put a little bit of yourself in there as well, and if you want to I suppose just enjoy it really, and so put a little bit of your own spin on it sometimes.
If you ever get a chance to see Aren, honestly, some of the costumes that he wears, I mean, you've got the full leather 68 leather and stuff as well, haven't you?
Yeah, and all the suits come from America, so they're all ordered from America, and quite expensive. And the company that I get them from, Elvis, is the guys who used to design them, used to work for that company.
Right.
So they've got all the original sort of designs for the suits and stuff. So
that's crazy. I'm sure you'll give us some little fascinating facts about certain songs
I'll try to
as we go on, because I've got like who wrote them and what year they came out for my top 10. Right. But so Aren, what's your number 10?
Right, I thought I'd start with a gospel song, because gospel music was very important. Sort of wind down, singing gospel songs after the shows with his friends and stuff. And it's a song called "Stand By Me," not the "Stand By Me."
Yeah.
I just love the words to that, and it's a very beautiful song.
Is it? So what era is that from? Is that the late 60s, early 70s? Is it?
Yeah, I think it's late 50s and maybe into the 60s. Yeah, I'll tell you there's a couple of versions of it. So it's always obviously the gospel album. If you listen to the gospel, but it's I just really like that song. So yeah.
I've written it down. I'm going to have a listen.
Okay.
There's going to be a lot of songs that I don't know because, like you said, he's done so many and so many albums. So I had to. What I basically did is look at my iTunes account and see which ones I've listened to the most, and then I've taken them as my top 10. And I've gone for the Lonesome Tonight, but the version with the laughter in.
I've got that as my number 6 with the again specifically the laughing version.
Yeah, I think it shows Elvis as being human to me. You know, because he became such an icon, such a god, that but you forget that he was just at the end of the day a human, wasn't he? Maybe a little bit troubled at the end, but he was human, and I think that version. It makes me laugh or even smile. I can never listen to it without having a little titter myself.
But I just looking at there's some footage on YouTube of him, I think practicing for Vegas shows in the studio. And he pretends like he gets electric shock off the phone and falls off the. It's so funny, and he's a guy that had a really good sense of humor. He wasn't full of himself. Genuinely looks like he's somebody that likes to have fun with everybody, and he was just pissing about while they're all trying to practice properly, because I can imagine that he was also a stickler for perfection when it came to his band.
I think the band thing. I think someone said I read somewhere like the boredom of the Vegas shows, doing 2 shows a night for a month in, all the time. I just think, I think someone said he used to get quite bored easily, and he was always looking for, So I think that was the way of kind of, just maybe enjoying the shows more, maybe, So, just little things like they'd find little things to, go off on a tangent. And but that is a great version. That is
a great version. Right. My number 10 is from the movie Viva Las Vegas, and it is Viva Las Vegas.
That would be my number 4.
Oh, that's your number 4, Neil. Okay. Well, it's iconic, isn't it? I mean, just take a leaf out of Neil's book there for that one. I love Elvis movies. I don't know what it is about Elvis movies, but they are great. They're a little bit for me like Carry On films. It's like they're so comforting to watch a good Elvis movie, And I think something like Viva Las Vegas, they're very much of their time. But I think it's different for you, Aren, when it comes to the singing. When I do some singing, I haven't got any of the songs that Elvis, like Suspicious Minds or All Shook Up or Burning Love, because I think I've heard them too many times.
Right.
Because I've sung them, and they just aren't. They don't feel like they would be in my top 10. So I haven't put any of those in my top 10. Right. So that's your number 4. Right then, Aren, your number 9. I
thought I'd go for movie song. Because obviously it was 10 years that Elvis was doing his movies for, and it's a song called "Edge of Reality."
Ooh,
and it's on the B side of If I Can Dream. The song, they put it on the B side of that, and it's off the film Live a Little, Love a Little.
Oh, yeah.
And it's got the most weirdest video that you've ever seen. So if you ever go on YouTube, find the video for Edge of Reality. It's a very strange video indeed. That's why I like it.
I know we said deep cuts, but that is a B side of something. I mean, that's a deep cut.
Yeah, If I Can Dream. Yeah.
Okay. No, that's cool. I think it's going to be a bit of an education, because I'm quite, like Neil said, that Elvis is, his picture and the image of him so much. But when you see him, or when you hear songs like today, I was listening to a lot of Elvis, and there were a lot of songs that I'd never heard before. And you sort of think, oh my God, what a really good song that was. And it's not your usual, jailhouse rock or anything. It's something a bit different. So I think it's going to be interesting sort of finding some of these newer songs.
Yeah.
Right, Neil, your number 9.
So my number 9 was Don't Be Cruel. And this song always reminds me of being younger, because I think in my head, this might have been the first Elvis song I remember hearing. Because my dad's quite an Elvis fan, and we used to have all the vinyl, and we used to have different ones. And that's the one I always remember putting on again. There was something about it at a young age that made me feel good. And I still get that feeling today when I listen to it. So it sends me straight back. As soon as I hear it, I'm like putting the vinyl on just to listen to that one track again.
Yeah.
Don't know what it was about the song that hooked me, but it's still there. There's still the love for it for me.
Yeah.
No, that's fair enough. My number 9 is Trouble. 1958. Because I can't remember which album it was, but Robbie Williams had a TV special, where he based it on the Elvis '68 special, where he had massive his name in massive lights, Robbie, and he started with Trouble, which then went into one of his like new songs. And it was only then that I thought myself, when I listened to that, I thought, oh God, what a great song that is. And then I sort of refound the Elvis version. But that was one of the ones that I listened to today that made me sort of cement it in my top 10. I just think it's a great rock and roll song. It just it's not your usual sort of what is it, 4x4 or whatever, it's got a good groove to it. And it's my 9th favorite.
Is that one you do, Aren?
Every now and then, not all the time. Must put it in the set. It's quite a good one to start with, actually. Because they do. I think it's they do Trouble into Guitar Man. You know, Guitar Man. It's like a little medley.
Right.
That's quite a good little medley. So it's, I quite like that one.
Awesome. Do you know what songs he used to start his live shows with?
Well, in the 70s, would have been like CC Rider and That's All Right, and Mama.
Right.
I think that used to be the main ones for the 70s. I'm not sure any other ones. And then I think 1969, the first Vegas shows, you start with Blue Suede Shoes.
Oh, right.
So the Vegas shows actually started in 69. People think it was 70s, but the first show was 1969. And he actually wore black suits for them, not white suits.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so and he'd start with Blue Suede Shoes, and the shows were really fast. Everything was like it was like punk rock, basically. If you listen to the early recordings of the thing, it's like really fast.
Right, yeah. Did he always open his shows at Vegas? Because my dad had the vinyl, one of the Vegas shows. And, it always had the I can't think what it is, the orchestral piece of music at the beginning.
Not for the Space 2001. Yeah. I can't remember. Yeah, I think that was more sort of later 70s. I think when I'm not sure when that film came out.
Well, that was 60s, wasn't it? So
it
makes sense.
Yeah. It was sort of mid 70s. I think they used that. That big orchestra.
That's it. A big build, wasn't it? Huge build.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, Aren. Then you're number 8.
Just Can't Help Believing.
Okay.
Yeah, I just really like that one. Song by B.J. Thomas. He recorded that in the 70s. It's like a country song. So I just really like that one. Nice and soft and tender, like full of meaning. Just really like that one. And I think it's my dad's favourite, even though he's not an Elvis fan, but he likes that one.
I think that's one of the things about Elvis is that even if people aren't Elvis fans, they will have at least probably 3 songs that they love.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
That are Elvis.
Yeah,
I think that's why he is so legendary. I think you could say that about the Beatles or probably maybe the Stones. I don't know, but I think that's definitely a something to prove how iconic they are. To use your word again, Neil. Sorry. Number 8. Doing it now. Number 8, Neil.
You're the Devil in Disguise.
Oh,
did you want my song, Pav? No, it's a foot tapper, isn't it? It's a great song. It's just, I don't know. It's another feel good song. It's as I say, it's a foot tapper. It's sing along, and it's one that I've always known throughout my life, and so I've always been listening to it. I'm a big fan of that song.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair enough. Right, my number 8 is I Can't Help Falling in Love, 1961, from the movie Blue Hawaii. And I think out of all the I've heard, there are so many different versions of it. Especially, I think didn't UB40 do a version of it? Didn't they?
They did that was for a film, wasn't it?
Oh, was that for a film?
It was Sliver, wasn't it?
Was it? Oh yes, yeah, you're right. Yeah, with all the pictures, TV screens. It is a beautiful love song, and it's one of those songs that are quite simple that you could learn on the guitar as well. It's all very simple chords, but all the more for it being a great song with how simple it is. It's the fact that 1961, so that's 60 years ago
crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah, and it's still being played and cut and covered, and
beautiful song. Yeah. Okay then, Aren, you're number 7.
Oh, right. If I Can Dream. Yeah. So
Okay.
the iconic song from the 1968 comeback.
Yeah, that's my number 4. That is.
Yeah. So when Elvis does 2 versions of it in the 60s. He does one in the white suit when he's dressed up really smart, and then he also does one in the black leathers. So there's 2 versions in that show.
Oh right.
If you find it on the internet. But yeah, and I think it came off the back. I think the song's about Martin Luther King apparently, and I think it was just after obviously he'd been shot. I think Elvis sang the song, and I think someone said after Elvis sang that, he said, "I'm not never going to sing a song that doesn't mean anything again," because he'd been singing so many movie songs that never meant, they were just like bubblegum music, and then obviously that song came along with full of meaning, and that kind of cemented it for him. Apparently, that's what I read. So yeah.
Oh right. I did Google it, and apparently they said that there's direct quotes from Martin Luther King in the lyrics, which I didn't know. The one thing that
fucking dream,
one thing that struck me about the first time I saw the 68 special, which would have been sometime in the 90s, I think I probably would have seen it, maybe 2000s. As soon as I saw that song, then I realized where Vic Reeves got his style from. Because that suit, that white suit he's wearing is exactly what Vic Reeves used to wear on Big Night Out.
Yeah, is he a big Elvis fan? Was he a big Elvis?
I don't know. But he obviously loved the style.
The style,
that suit is exactly what he used to wear.
Yeah.
Right down. I think he even had like an actual white suit like that. I thought, oh my god, it's Vic Reeves, even with the hair done like that.
Yeah, he very much had the hair, didn't he?
I think as well. I think it's the emotion that Elvis puts into that song. He just puts his all. I think it's the understanding. He puts everything into it. And you can hear it with his vocals, and I think that's why it's in there for me.
Yeah, and I think you have to put into context that whole 68 special, like where Elvis was sort of far from being a real legend. He sort of dropped off in popularity, hadn't he? Before
completely, yeah, and he was scared about doing the whole comeback thing. If you watch the program on that, saying how scared he was about doing that 68 comeback, he was absolutely petrified apparently. So and then obviously from that he went into the Vegas. Thing. So
yeah, and I have to think that whole bit where he's sat like in the round with the leathers on, just doing like almost like the first ever version of MTV Unplugged.
It was,
and it is just it's mesmerizing.
It gives you goosebumps.
It does,
yeah,
and then
it
you
really
feel
does.
all the women and the men just looking up at him in awe. Thinking, oh my god, we are right close to him, and he's back, kind of thing. Right, Neil, you're number 7.
Well, we talk about Elvis being cool and everything, and he's always been cool, but I didn't realize it until I first watched him sing All Shook Up, and then that's when I realized that's cool. Elvis is cool. Elvis is a good-looking, cool dude. And and so that song stuck with me. That was the first one that I sort of saw him as an artist rather than a celebrity. When you were younger, Elvis was this god, this person that was way up there and doing everything. And then I realized that no, he's an artist and he's a musician. So I was at that age where I suddenly twigged that he wasn't an ethereal figure and something mystical. He was just an American swinging his hips.
Yeah, indeed. My number 7 is the song that was, I don't think it was released or it was number 1 just after he died, which is Way Down. In 1977. Now I can remember I was 8 years old, because I think he died a couple of weeks. Was it end of August that he died?
It was the end of August, yeah,
wasn't it, or mid-August, something like that. And then he went to number 1 the following week, I think it was. So I couldn't understand what was the big thing, because I didn't really know who Elvis was when I was like 8 years old. I was more interested in this space film that was going to be coming out, But then I can remember the video. It was like it was like somebody that obviously was dressing as Elvis, but all you could see was like his silhouette, and then the song, and he was doing all the Elvis shapes. But that song always seems to transport me back to August of 1977. Because I can remember, I think my mum was really upset, and then it was like, it was in the paper, Elvis is dead, and I think there was a picture of him in his coffin and stuff.
There was,
on the front page of whichever, the Mirror or the Sun or whatever. And I sort of realized, there's obviously this is this is big because I'd heard the name Elvis. Christmas, you'd watch Elvis movies or whatever, but you didn't really know, who he was or what it was all about. And that was really the first time that made me realize that Elvis Presley is not contradicting a little bit what you just said, Neil, that he's not just an American that can shake his hips. He's a lot bigger than that, and he's like recognized all over the world as opposed to just being somebody that just sings a song or whatever. So that's my number 7. Aren, you're number 6.
Oh, again, another one. It's got a song called "Stranger in a Crowd."
Okay.
So it's I just really like it. So it's off again. I like the live version from the 1970s off an album called "That's the Way It Is," and there's also a film called "That's the Way It Is," and it's kind of highlighting Elvis's return to Vegas. And
right.
I think it's on the outcuts. I think they didn't actually put it in the main video, but it's just one of you don't really hear it very often, but I just really like the song, and I quite like the drumming in it. So yeah, "Stranger in a Crowd," the song's called.
Is that more of an upbeat one, or is that a ballad?
Yeah, it's quite upbeat actually. Yeah, it's quite upbeat. Yeah, it's got quite a nice groove to it as well. So yeah, if you can have a tough time, try and find that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
another one to add to the list.
Yeah.
Neil, you're number 6.
So it's "Blue Christmas."
Yeah.
This is one of my all-time favorite Christmas songs. I know it's quite depressing, as some people would put it. But I think it's beautiful. It's where I think you can really, really appreciate Elvis's voice on that one. I think it's absolutely a beautiful recording. I just love that song, and I've heard a couple of cover versions of it, and it's almost
Shaky.
Shaky
did a version of that.
Just don't like them in comparison. Just the best Christmas song, and well done, Elvis, for giving it to us.
So where do you stand on Shaky then, Aren? The Welsh Elvis.
Shaky, yeah. I've got a bit of time for Shaky. I actually discovered a while ago. There's I think I'll take it down off YouTube, but there's some footage of Shaky in 1972. And he's got his rock and roll band. I can't remember what they're called. I think they're Shaking Stevens and the Sunsets. I think
Sunsets.
They're called.
Yes, that's right.
Oh man, they are fantastic. And they're it's 1972, and it's and I watched a documentary on him, and people just think he just appeared, and made all this. But he was in the 70s, Shaky was, and then obviously, by the time he got to the 80s, he's quite big, was he, in the charts, really?
Yeah. Was it Green Door that broke him through, was it?
I'm not sure, yeah.
This Old House, wasn't it, I think?
Yeah.
Or was that before Green Door?
Yeah, I mean, he was one of, if not the biggest male solo artist of the 80s. Without doubt. And then he became a property magnate. He was like...
Yeah, did he?
Yeah, any bands like sort of late 80s, early 90s bands that would like be staying in, set places in London, he'd normally be their landlord.
Oh, okay.
He come knocking on their green door asking for
yeah.
Well, I remember buying both I had both of them on the 7-inch vinyl. There you go.
She Drives Me Crazy.
That's it. And of course, we talked to Christmas, and he had an iconic Christmas song himself, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Indeed, he did. Oh, look, we should have just done Shaky's top 10.
Shaky's top 10, yeah.
I don't even know whether I'd get to 10, would we?
Oh, I'm sure we would. Right, well, my number 6 was Are You Lonesome Tonight, the laughing version. So, Aren, you're number 5.
It's the first album that I ever bought. I was about 10 years old. There was a song called Separate Ways. And it's a very sad song, yeah. And one of Elvis's bodyguards wrote the words for it, a guy called Red West. I think he wrote the words, not the music. But and that was the first album I kind of saved my pocket. Well, actually, I went down the local post office and I walked in there. There was his album cover in front of me with Elvis stood over a highway in his jumpsuit I think he had a guitar. I can't remember. He had a guitar, and I saw it. I thought, wow, look at that! I've got to buy that. So I went back home, got my pocket money, and I bought this album. And there's only probably 2 good songs on the album.
Oh, right.
It's one of these, I don't know, these albums are just sort of put together. And but there's a song on it called Separate Ways, and that always kind of stuck in my head, that song, and always, always it's quite a sad song. But but I remember being touched by it when I was quite younger, the whole thing. So separate ways.
Was that the first time you came across Elvis then?
No, I think the first time there was I had a day off school actually, and I remember finding my mum. She's not really an Elvis fan, but she had some records, the old rock and roll things, and I found an Elvis. It was a double A side with Marie's the Name and Latest Flame and Little Sister on the B side.
Right.
I remember putting that on, and I was kind of hooked straight away, really. And I think I probably been 8 or 9 or something like that. Quite young. And I remember hearing that. It's quite fast and upbeat, and I thought, wow, this is fantastic. And that's the first time. And then obviously seeing pictures of Elvis, and just the music's always been quite a big part of my life, all the way through my life. Really, it's helped me through kind of good times. It's helped me through bad times. It's got me through a lot of stuff really in my life. And and sometimes I wish other people would just have a little taste of that, and hopefully some people come to the shows and think, oh, I really like that song, they think even if it's one song, like you say, it's changed people's minds on Elvis.
Yeah.
So yeah,
and it's mad because just picture this, kids, that if you wanted a song or you liked an artist, you'd have to walk down to a shop and buy a record. And then you couldn't you'd have to wait until they released another record before you could get anything else.
But first of all, you had to save up to be able to buy the record.
Buy it,
You had to save your pocket money.
Exactly. Yeah. None of this just like flicking on a TV or a Alexa, and you've got a million records that you can listen to. It's crazy when you think about it. That I can remember saving pocket money and walking downtown to buy a single.
What is?
You know what I mean? Yeah, just go and buy a single because it was.
What single it was?
God, my first single was "Don't Give Up on Us, Baby" by David Soul.
Oh yeah,
because I loved David Soul. So he had that. He had.
And you sing that, don't you?
No, I sing "Silver Lady."
Silver Lady.
That's a great song.
Yeah.
Even the B-sides. Black Bean Soup was one of the B-sides.
I must check that one out.
Oh my God! All I want is black bean soup and you to make it with me. Great stuff.
I'm going to check that out later.
It is fantastic, honestly. And he was great. It was
fantastic voice.
Yeah, and it was that thing of looking in smash hits or whatever it was, seeing what the new releases were and thinking, right, I've got enough money to go and buy the Frankie Goes to Hollywood or Adam and the Ants.
Do
you know what I mean? Just go and buy their
Joe Dolce, Shut Up Your Face.
Exactly. Just something like that. Oh God, I kind of miss those days,
Well, that's where we became more. I think we appreciate music more than the younger generations do, because we had to put time and thought into what you went to get.
Yeah,
I mean, sometimes you made absolute balls up, shut up your face and things like that. But you really had to think about what you were going to spend your £1.49 on. Or
it's true. Yeah.
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 It's crazy. It really is crazy. Right, Neil, you're number 5.
Well, talking of vinyl, I won one of the Top of the Pops albums at the Mop Fair. Do you remember those?
I do, yeah.
And they were all covers. Well, the one I won had Burning Love on. And I thought it was the real version for years. I love that song. It was my favorite. I didn't listen to a lot of the other tracks, and I listened to Burning Love, unbeknownst to me that it was a cover. And my dad suddenly heard, and he said, "That's Elvis." And I went, "Yeah." And he said, "But that's not Elvis. Listen to this version." And that's when I was introduced to it, and it stuck with me. And I still love that track. It's a great track, isn't it? It's a great party piece. It's a great number to put in the set. It's a great number.
That's a good one.
Yeah, you can. I bet you throw some of the Elvis shapes at that one, don't you? When it's the hunker burning.
Yeah, you can get moving with that one a little bit.
Yeah, I certainly do. When I put it's on one of my playlists that I put through my generic voice activated thing. I'm not going to say because it will go off because it's right next to me. And I still do it now. Even with a bad hip, I only swing one side. Do you know what I mean? It just gets you like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, when it's something like that, Aren, do you have to stand in front of a mirror and watch him on YouTube to get the movements right, or do you just do what you think? I do watch the videos, and it's like all the little small mannerisms. You watch all the details and stuff, even if it's stuff messing with your collar or like shrugs or. And that, again, that's a constant working, or you can
you could somebody a video and you watch it and you think, oh, I've got that completely wrong. So you got to like learn it, just learn it and say again, chuck some of your own bits in maybe. But yeah, I think it's the little mannerisms and just even like a turns of the heads and just watching the video really closely. And probably when you go to events, people would notice that. But obviously, if you're doing a gig in a pub, people, people probably wouldn't even realise what you're doing. But when you do the proper big events, people do pick up on that.
It is one of the things that I admire as you as a performer. Because whenever I'm singing, I'm holding onto that microphone stand like it's a life jacket, because I'm not going to jump around. Whereas like Elvis never used a microphone stand, did he? He's just stood there making shapes and you've got to do that when you're singing. You can't sort of be Elvis holding onto a microphone stand. You've got to be doing the moves and the. I
think it's funny, like in the early 50s, he used to use the microphone stand a lot because he used to, like the 50s, if you watch him, he used to use that, because the microphone was stuck on the old 50s ones, and the 70s, I think he used to use the stand for a couple of songs, and then obviously take the mic off, and then he'd be moving around quite a bit and doing his thing, So yeah.
Fair enough. Right, my number 5 is Maria's the name of his latest flame, 1957, from the movie Loving You, written by Doc Pomus and Mort Schumann. Who also wrote Viva Las Vegas as well.
I didn't know that.
That must be the same as like maybe writing a song for I don't know who's the biggest band of now, the BTS. Or whatever, getting it. That's
Coldplay.
The Korean pop. The Korean pop. Yeah, but they're the biggest band in the world at the moment. Neil, come on, get with it.
All right.
BTS. They're one of these K-pop
Isn't
bands.
that like type of sandwich?
Are they?
No, yeah, they are apparently. I've never heard one of their songs, but it must be like writing a song for the biggest band in the world. It must be like, you, to get a chance to write a song for Elvis. Jesus, and then the money you must make or have made from that over the years. But I love this song. It was very close to being higher up in my top 10. I think in regards to his early stuff, this is my sort of favorite one of his early stuff. So and I can't remember which movie is Loving You. That's not when he's a cowboy, is it? The
I don't know.
Is Love Me Tender, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not too hot on the movies, to be honest. I was straight into the 70s.
Right, Aren, then you're number 4.
From the Hello from Hawaii show in 1973, we've got the big eagle suit on with a big eagle cape, American Trilogy.
Right.
Glory, Glory, Hallelujah. The big ending. I remember hearing that for the first time. It literally sent goosebumps at the back of my head, and it still does. I still listen to that in the car, and I still get that. When your hair stands up on the back of when it hits those notes at the end. That's a big one for me as well. Yes, it's.
Okay. Neil, you said Viva Las Vegas was your number 4.
It was, yeah.
I had If I Can Dream from the 68 special as my number 4. So back to you, Aren, for your number 3.
That was a quick one.
Yeah, it was a quick one.
Yeah, another one of my big favorite songs is a song called it's written by a guy called Eddie Rabbitt. It's a country song. It's called Kentucky Rain. Fantastic song. It's I think it's because it's got a bit of a story to it. It's a story about lost love, I suppose, and that was recorded in the American Sound Studios of that 1969 Suspicious Minds in the Ghetto era, and again, I just think his voice sounds absolutely fantastic in that one. Yeah, that was one of my favorites.
Which era do you think his voice sounded the best?
Oh God, I really think that. I think just for me, that 1969, 70, 71. I think that kind of those early Vegas shows. I think those, so maybe 3 years. Even like the 68 comeback. Again, probably 68 if you listen to that show, and then sort of a good 4 or 5 years. But then later on, he was doing some big. He wasn't moving around so much, but he was doing big. He was belting out some big songs. But I think that's definitely for me. I think those. Yeah, maybe you said late 68 to 71 for me.
Yeah, again, because I watched the version of Unchained Melody
Yeah.
when he was heavy.
Mm.
And his mate is holding and he's at the piano.
Charlie Hodge, yeah, that was his best
and
mate.
You can sort of see that near the end he's not playing the piano at all, is he? He's sort of moving his hands up and down. But he sounded phenomenal. Absolutely, the way he sang that song.
Yeah, and it was like 6 weeks before he died. That was as well. Yeah,
because when he was talking before the song, he's struggling to get his words out. He sounds just doped up to the eyeballs. But as soon as he starts singing,
fantastic! Yeah,
unbelievable. You would never know that, like you say, he was like a month and a half away from dying. Absolutely crazy. Right then, Neil, you're number 3.
So it's a little less conversation, and this one I'd forgotten about. I used to love it when I was younger, and then they re-released it, didn't they, with the dance mix? I can't remember who did it for. Was it for a movie or something? And it reignited my love of the song. I just think it probably is his greatest party one to me. Yeah. You know, we're all swinging our hips and everything and gyrating around, but this is a great, great party record and a great song. And like I said, I'd completely forgotten about it. I used to love it as a kid, hadn't heard it for years, and then they did. I don't know who did the remix. Somebody
I think
did,
it's like JXL or something.
Yeah, something like that. But when it came out, I was just like, oh my God, I love that song.
Wasn't it for like Ocean's 11 or something?
Something like that, wasn't it? But I completely forgot about it.
Like a flyover vision of Vegas for some reason.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. But yeah, I mean, it must be one that you enjoy performing, Aren, surely.
Do you know what? I don't actually sing it.
Do you not?
I don't actually do it.
Wow.
No, yeah, it's strange. Yeah, it's one thing I've never learned. I don't know why. Don't ask me why, but yeah, I've just never learned it. I don't why. Because
to me, that to me is one of the perfect party song.
Yeah, really, I must learn it. All right, that's my goal for this year or next year. Learn that song. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'll put it on the list. Be at the front row throwing our briefs at you.
Okay.
Yeah, wasn't that the song that got him like past the Beatles as the most
biggest selling artist? Yeah,
or number ones, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, it's amazing what you forget, isn't it? When you're growing up, and then getting reignited with it like that, it was just a wonder to listen to again. And, you know, and it shows because, as I said, I put the most listened to on my iTunes list, and that came up 3rd. So it must still be something.
Yeah.
Right, my number 3 is from 1973, and for me, one of the most beautiful love songs ever written. Always on my mind. It doesn't matter whether it's Willie Nelson, whether it's the Pet Shop Boys, but the Elvis version, I think, has got so much emotion to it.
Oh, completely,
And again, sort of in line with what I said about him singing Unchained Melody. Whether it's the recorded version or any live version you see, it's a fantastic song, and all he does is elevate a beautiful song into something, you know, even more iconic. Neil,
iconic.
Written by Wayne Carson, Mark James, and Johnny Christopher.
Crikey! There you go.
There you go. There's
Wayne Carson, wasn't he a jockey?
No.
Okay.
That was Willie Carson.
Willie Carson.
Okay, then, Aren, you're number 2.
A song I never get bored of. I probably hear all the time. Originally, it was written in 1958 and recorded by Vince Edwards, and then released by Ray Peterson in 1959. And it's Elvis's version in the 1970s. Is "The Wonder of You."
Oh, beautiful song.
Yeah, I love. You know, I never get bored of that song. I love singing it. You know, probably hear it everywhere you go, but I don't know. I just really like that song. So,
isn't that that's one of the perfect singing songs to get the crowd singing?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
It's just perfect. It's one of those songs that if you are having a bad gig, a bit like Sweet Caroline or anything like that, do that one, and it doesn't matter. People will. It doesn't matter if they're having a shit time. They will sing that part of
things.
That
But again, if you can find the original, the Ray Peterson 1959 version, it's really slow. You know, it's like a little country ballad.
All right.
But it's quite interesting. It's quite a good song. Yeah, it's quite, because a lot of the Elvis songs as well. When I do sing them, I try and find out the information about them, who sang them originally, and I find the original versions of them. as well.
Right.
So it kind of helps you know where that song's come from, and gives you a bit of knowledge to it. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a beauty.
Go on then, Neil. You're number 2.
In the ghetto, or as you will ever remember it as, is in the ghetto, pal.
That's my number 2 as well.
For me reminds me of holidays. We used to make, it would be whichever year, my brother and I would take turns into making tapes. And it was always on one of our car trip tapes. In the days when you had to record the vinyl, remember that? Took forever to line that up and get it right without the crackles. But yeah, we used to, it reminds me of summer holidays as well, driving wherever we were going as a whole family singing along to In the Ghetto, bizarrely. But it's also a beautiful song. It really is a great, great song.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I don't think anybody does story songs as well as Elvis. Because that is a story song. It's telling you about this particular woman and a child or whatever. I think there's so many, especially like I say, listening to a lot of Elvis songs today, and a lot of them are this happened, and this is how I feel about it. I mean, I suppose all songs are like that, but specific story songs, I don't think there's anybody that sings them as well or performs them as well as Elvis.
I think that song was originally called The Circle, if I believe, by the guy who actually wrote it originally. I think it was called The Circle. And I think it might be called The Circle originally. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Because it's just like the circle, isn't it? People just
Good knowledge there, Aren. That's good.
Apparently, I might be completely wrong. I read that. Yeah,
we'll fact check after.
Yeah, we can Google it. We can Google it. Right. So, Aren, if you want to give us your rundown from 10 to 2.
Oh, okay. 10 till 2.
Yeah.
Right. So, number 10 was Stand By Me. Number 9 was Edge of Reality. Number 8 was Just Can't Help Believing. Number 7, If I Can Dream. Number 6, Stranger in a Crowd. Number 6, Separate Ways. What are we on number 5 here?
That was 5 Separate Ways.
Okay, 5. 4 is American Trilogy. And 3 is Kentucky Rain. Number 2 is A Wonder You.
Okay, Neil, do your 10 to 2, please.
Okay, so at number 10, I had Lonesome Tonight, the version with the laughter in. Number 9, Don't Be Cruel. Number 8, You're the Devil in Disguise. Number 7, All Shook Up. Number 6, Blue Christmas. Number 5, Burning Love. Number 4, Viva Las Vegas. Number 3, A Little Less Conversation. And at number 2, In the Ghetto.
Okay, and my is number 10, Viva Las Vegas. 9, Trouble. 8, Can't Help Falling in Love. 7, Way Down. 6, Are You Lonesome Tonight, the laughing version. 5, Maria's the Name of His Latest Flame. 4, If I Can Dream, the 68 special version, specifically. 3, Always on My Mind. 2, In the Ghetto. I think because I was expecting way more duplicates than we've had, and I think also that goes to show you how many great songs that Elvis did, with the fact that we've got one each left, so we've done 27 songs, and I think there's only a couple of duplicates, which is crazy, really.
And so far, none of the early stuff that coming to number 1, like Hound Dog and all of those
or the Sun stuff, the early Sun material, that 1950, that really early stuff that he started, we haven't mentioned none of that. Yeah.
No. Well, but we might do now. So, Aren, what's your number 1? Your number
my all-time favourite song is a song it's a country song, and again, if that's the way it is, and the live version I really like, and it's a song called Just Pretend. Again, it's quite a sad ballad, but that's one of it. I think again, that is the power in his voice, in the chorus, and it's one of the hardest songs I can sing. I find difficult, really pushes me. And I don't sing it after a heavy weekend. It's usually in the middle of a set or something like that. But I think just the raw emotion of the song, I think that really does it for me. Yeah.
Okay, that's another. Well, we'll have to definitely check that one out, as that's your number 1. So
has to be the live version as well.
Right. Okay. Right then, Neil, your number 1.
Suspicious Minds. Good old classic Suspicious
classic,
Minds. Yeah, I mean, everybody probably knows this song unless you've only just been born recently. I even enjoy the cover versions that have been, the people that have passed it down. But yeah, it's a great number. It's a great song. And what's the live version? I can't think what it's from. I've watched it quite regularly on YouTube. He's very, very. There's a lot of movement from Elvis in the live version that he does.
That would be that's the way it is. That's the film. So
right, it's from that one.
Yeah. So
is that the one when he crouches right down?
That's it. Right down.
Yeah. So that's the way it is. Yeah.
That's the best version of that song.
That's the one. Yeah.
It's just he is enjoying himself on that version, isn't he? And he's really giving it 110%.
Yeah, he looks great, doesn't he? He looks really good. He's looking trim. His voice is
just there and immaculate. But we all want to be Elvis, really.
We all want to be Elvis.
Have you done that version, Aren? Have you done that where you get really, really low down?
I tried to. I tried to. And sometimes it don't happen, and then if you haven't warmed up, you know about it the next morning, and you got to watch the jumpsuit and split as well. That's the thing. Yeah, you got to watch that. You got to watch that, and then sometimes you can do like a half move. Yeah, sometimes you get down do a half a move.
Yeah, of course. Elvis was keen karate, wasn't he?
Yeah.
His karate and martial arts like that, wasn't he? He's
probably that early 70s. He was probably doing quite a lot then. So yeah.
So he was nice and flexible and able to do that.
Yeah.
You wouldn't like to have seen it in like 76, 77.
No, he wouldn't be happening.
Wouldn't have worked so much.
That white jumpsuit wouldn't have stayed white for a long.
No.
He'd have had an accident, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Right. So my number one is something that Aren did mention earlier on, and it's American Trilogy.
Yeah.
I watched the video from, I'm not sure where it was, which show it was that's on YouTube.
It's probably the lower.
It may well be, but like you said, that moment when the glory, hallelujah. I mean, I'm not religious at all, but that moment when the horns go boom, boom, boom. Like you say, it's just the hairs on the back of your neck just stand on end.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic.
And even Elvis that you see in the video, and he's snarling because he's gonna give it all he's got, and he's go on.
Yeah, he's gonna smash it, isn't he?
Yeah, and it is a great song, like a three-part song. There's like different parts to the song, and the harmonies when he says, "Come on, fellas," and they do "I Wish I Was in Dixie" at the start of the song. For me, it's not just one of my favorite Elvis or the favorite Elvis song. It's one of my favorite songs, I think, of all time. It would definitely be in my top 20, maybe even top 10. I think it's just a fantastic song. I can always remember. I'm not sure whether it was the Aloha live show, but they showed it on TV, and there was a bit, as you do too, Aren, was one of my favorite bits I was watching you is when you were handing out the silk scarves. I love that bit. I love that. Women love that, don't they? They absolutely love it. But I can remember watching the video, and this woman grabs one of Elvis's scarves, and somebody behind her grabs the scarf and literally throttles her because she tries to take it off, and you see her head snap back, because the person behind us grabbed the scarf. And then I was watching, I can't remember, I think on Sky Arts they had Elvis live, and he threw his belt off at the end of the night.
He had his cape as well,
and the cape
off.
And
he threw
it into the crowd, and I said to my miss, I said, "Fuck me, that must be worth a fucking fortune." Those people, you can imagine the fights in this respectable Las Vegas crowd, all there sat at their tables having their gin and tonics. All of a sudden, Elvis's cape comes from, and they're all just ripping it to shreds.
But it must have been heavy as well. Taking somebody's eye out.
Absolutely. But the fact that he just tossed it into the crowd and then took his belt off and tossed it into the crowd.
Yeah, crazy.
Absolutely crazy. Right, before we chat a bit more to you, Aren, I've got some honorable mentions.
Yeah.
Rob James said Burning Love.
Yeah, good choice.
Joe Moore said In the Ghetto.
Yeah.
Claire Slade, The Wonder of You.
Yeah.
Jane Miles. Now, she had a bit of a theme with her favourite songs. She had Don't Cry Daddy, That's All Right, Mama. Little Sisters. She said, I don't have any brothers, she said. And then she went, oh, Old Shep, Don't Forget the Dog. So she covered everybody with that one.
Yeah.
Sarah Barnes said, How to Choose. Visited Graceland not so long ago. Amazing. Paul Spur said, Mystery Train.
Oh, yeah, fantastic. Yeah, Mystery Train, yeah.
Yeah, Sherry Burt said, If I Can Dream.
Yeah.
Now, our friend Ross Carpenter from the This Country side of things, I'll apologise now, Aren, okay? I did slap his wrists for this, but he said, true story, Elvis Presley played a character called Ross Carpenter in the 1962 film Girls, Girls, Girls. That's fair enough. I knew that Ross Carpenter would get himself sorted in that context. Then he said, musically, I used to be a fan, but he stopped being always on my mind. He says, I think all the tribute acts put me off him as they made him a figure of fun. Now, I don't. Now, obviously, you are in that world. Are there some people that maybe do it a little bit more tongue in cheek, because you have fun doing it, but you're sort of being serious doing it, aren't you?
Yeah, I think they've had a bad press over the years, tribute guys. But I think the last, maybe the last 10 years, it's really come on. The suits have come on, and I don't know, just the respect for Elvis. And none of us think we're Elvis, none of us think we're the next Elvis Presley, or we're just paying our tribute to our hero, and to the best of our abilities. And there is all different abilities, and I just think if you can do a gig and you can make one new Elvis fan like his music, then that's a positive thing. Whether it's a young kid or or somebody who's never heard him before, or So I think, but yeah, there is all different, like whatever you do is all different qualities of tributes. Sorry,
that's that vodka.
Yeah, vodka.
Yeah.
And it's keeping his music alive as well, isn't it? That's the thing.
Yeah. I mean, so some of the guys that some of the guys I like watching, I mean, they're absolutely fantastic. They're so good, and just pay a sincere tribute to Elvis as best as they can. And like in the entertainment industry, you can't keep everybody happy, and you're never going to keep everybody happy. You just do your thing. If people don't like it,
they don't need to listen, do they?
Yeah, it's the kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, if your friend, get him to come out and see some of the tribute guys, some of the top guys, and then you might have a change of heart.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because there is some,
absolutely. Yeah. Although Ross did he said for him though, in order. His top 10 is he's 9 actually. I don't know why he's
no.
But She's Not You at 9, Don't Be Cruel, Crying in the Chapel, Return to Sender, It's Now or Never. They're a bit more earlier.
They're early 60s.
4 In the Ghetto, 3 Are You Lonesome Tonight, 2 The Girl of My Best Friend, and 1 Love Me Tender was his
early 60s stuff there. Very good.
Stuart Saunders said Suspicious Minds is my favorite, closely followed by Always on My Mind. Ever since visiting Graceland, I've been a confirmed fan. And finally, Laura Gollop just said, I love Suspicious Minds. So there you go, Neil.
That's good.
Great minds think alike there. So you did a gig as we're recording this not long ago at the Sundial in Cirencester.
Yes,
like with a full band. How did that go? I've seen some of the footage and it seemed like it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah, it's when I initially booked the theatre, I was thinking, have I done the right thing? And the tickets started selling slowly, and then they picked up. And it's always a gamble. You book the theatre and you think, are people going to come and watch you? And because you know the expense to put these things on, and luckily when it came to that, everybody came out, which we're really grateful for. We had nearly a full house. And it was a great night. Everybody was up out their seats the second half of the show. I was quite nervous because I hadn't done anything for a year, literally a show like that with the band. And the musicians are fantastic, because we don't actually rehearse together. We literally they turn up, I tell them what songs I want. We have a little sound check before and off we go. So it's, but it just shows how good musicians they are, But, and so the crowd fantastic. It's, makes me, makes my night as well, and all the musicians. So, yeah. So hopefully do one next year. Hopefully, we're just planning to do one next year now. So.
Yeah, that must be quite daunting though if you haven't rehearsed with them. Are you telling them what version of the song you're doing and stuff? So
yeah. So generally, you just say that's like the 70s version of that. So because some of the 50s songs were sort of into the 70s, so slightly different key, maybe, I don't know. So and then and you just kind of ad lib with stuff. If you go wrong, or you kind of direct the band a bit as well. If if you want to go faster or slower or carry on or. So you just kind of go along really and just see how the night goes. I think this makes it more interesting, more exciting. You don't know exactly what's going to happen next.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So,
the videos I saw, it did look like it was loads.
Yeah.
So,
Have
you got anything else? Anything else lined up?
Yeah, I am in. So there's the Benidorm Elvis Festival in 2 weeks' time. So I'm off to Spain for 4 days. So that's a great weekend as well, the Benidorm Elvis Festival. And then we've got what's on. We've got a weekender in Coventry, and then January we've got the European Championships in Birmingham, which is a competition, and there's showcases there. So I still do the odd competition every now and then, but I just tend to do the shows now. So. But it's just a great place to meet people. If you can ever make it to a weekender, meet new friends, and it's just a fantastic way of meeting, like-minded Elvis fans and new friends. So.
I would like to say, if anybody hasn't seen Aren as Elvis, get down and see him wherever you can, because it is fantastic. It's a great show.
Absolutely.
Thank you. And the women go gaga over.
They do.
And you will too.
Yeah. And the thing that always strikes me with Aren is he's one of the most sort of quiet, unassuming guys that you'll ever meet. But then you see him on stage as Elvis, and he's a fucking beast. He's an absolute beast. He's such a just good value to go and watch. He's such a great performer. He really is. So yeah, if you ever get a chance, have you got like a Facebook page or?
I've got obviously my Facebook, Aren Amir, or there's Aren E Elvis Tribute on Facebook. There's so either friend request me on my Aren Amir or just go on to the Aren E Elvis Tribute.
We'll put the link for the Elvis tribute one in the show notes for the podcast, so people can just click it up. Right then, Neil, over to you. Let everybody know how they can contact us.
Of course, so you can find us on all the social medias, like I say, at Top10pods. That's TOPTEN pods. Email us if you've got any questions or anything you'd like to know, or even any reviews on our previous shows at toptenpods@hotmail.com. And do please come and help support the podcast. It means the world to us at patreon.com/top10pods, where you'll get rewards such as our episodes super early, bonus episodes, behind the scenes videos, and even a chance to be on your own pod. And then you can check out all of our links via the link tree, and you can find the link in the show notes. And then please, we beg you, do please come and subscribe, leave us a rating and a review on Apple Podcasts, or subscribe and follow on Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts from.
There you go. So listen to the man. And the Patreon, we've got some really, really good rewards and some little bits and pieces that we're giving away as well. So, and it obviously helps us. It keeps the lights on, and it keeps us going. So once again, Neil, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much. I'm going to go and watch the comeback special now.
Yeah, I think I might do that.
DVD, I really am.
I might do that. Aren, it's been a real pleasure to speak to you,
thank
mate.
you.
Thank you so much.
Always good to see you, Aren.
Yeah, and hopefully see you around sometime.
Absolutely.
Oh, yes, definitely.
And thank you very much for listening and for watching. And Elvis has left the building.
Thank you very much.